Greetings, Indie Warriors. It is I, Alan, back again with I Dream of Indie to bring you a brand new review. Before I get started though, I have a question for you. What constitutes a memorable adventure? Is it the token hero's journey? Is it the overcoming of obstacles while powering up to take down a greater threat after a greater threat? Or can it be something less but more? Well, hold your answer, because today we're taking a look at Grow, Song of the Evertree, developed by Prideful Sloth and published by 505 Games. This adventure is a demonstration that not every game requires a grandiose journey of power and slaughter to be remarkable and memorable. So in Grow, you are introduced to the world of Alaria, once an abundant, vibrant land that had become abandoned by mankind and infested by the Withering, as well as the titular Evertree. In order for the Evertree to bloom and for the land of Alaria to thrive, there must be harmony maintained by the people of the world. Unfortunately, this harmony was broken, and the Song of the Evertree was shattered, allowing the corruption known as the Withering to infest the lands, and it is your job as an apprenticed alchemist to rediscover the Song of the Evertree and give birth to new world seeds, while simultaneously growing and maintaining the newly rebuilt settlement within Alaria. Functionally, you do this by splitting the gameplay into two areas, town building and world seed tending. Both require balancing your time in the game and coincide with growth of each other. As to the nature of the game, its internal systems are all about harmony and exploration. As you cultivate your first world seed, you rediscover a fragment of the Song of the Evertree, and use it to help foster further growth while collecting Moira, the global resource in the game, and other items that can be used in conjunction with eventually growing your town. All this can be done as quickly or leisurely as possible, as the game is designed for you to take things in at your own pace. So in Grow, you aren't going on a journey to slay baddies or rescue a princess or really any traditional conflict resolution. Instead, you are unlocking and progressing story elements by tending to your various world seeds or gardens, and using the resources you gather there to then build up your village in hopes to return a residence to the land of Alaria. You are aided by the Everkin, rabbit-like folks, who serve as a tutorial of sorts and as your construction crew. This game is essentially something similar to blending Harvest Moon and Animal Crossing, while maintaining progression systems that keep the player heavily invested. When it comes to the world seeds, you spend time each day planting seeds, watering plants, singing to them to further growth, while uprooting elements of the Wither, chopping down overgrown trees, and catching bugs. The game graciously gives you an indicator when you have done enough each day, and then it's time to return home, talk to Salty's mom and Coppertop, before heading to bed to start the cycle over. Now, this sounds like it would get old fast, which was my initial thought. However, no. This game does something with both systems daily, and that is provide you with persistent and consistent rewards and tangible progression. Each day I would visit my world seed and see how there was now more land, more places to plant seeds, caves to explore, and eventually fauna to befriend. Every single time I restarted the gameplay loop, I was rewarded with either progression items or cosmetics, meaning that just another 20 minutes quickly turned into another 2 hours. While the rewards and progression were persistent, it also wasn't too quick. So even after fully cultivating my first world soul, there were still dog-like animals and giant strawberry buffalo-looking animals that I had yet to befriend. I was able to move on to another world, or take my time 100%ing the first world, and the game didn't force me into doing anything, which I found to be a huge relief. As for town building, I had to balance resources to accommodate the increasing amounts of residents by building homes, an inn, a bakery, a flower shop, and eventually a library. I also was able to get additional items known as tokens that allow me to add additional residents to each home and additional employees to each shop I built. I had only so much land to start with, and as I made my denizens happy by assigning them the right type of job, interacting with them, and performing fetch quests, the ability for me to clear additional elements of the Withering became available, which allowed me to expand my town further. I genuinely enjoyed interacting with my townsfolks and constantly undoing Javier's mistakes. Yeah, don't give Javier a home if you play this. Dude breaks everything. You can gift your townspeople cosmetics to change their appearance, which makes them happier, all the while mutually benefiting from the various shops. The flower shop will sell key items for the various role types you can craft, along with silver and gold keys for unlockable chests that could be found through exploration or using those key items to unlock additional chests. What I thought was going to be an afterthought of a system was in fact a simple yet fully fleshed out mode of gameplay. Both gameplay loops share a beautifully integrated symbiotic system. To wrap up gameplay while avoiding spoilers, once you finish your first world seed, you are first introduced to an absolutely beautiful cutscene, followed by being introduced to the seed crafting system with Copperpot. Normally throughout the game, you can collect items and then break down those items into their purest essences, which are used for city building. However, you can pick between 3 to 5 essences to build a world seed, which will and do have a dramatic impact on what type of world you will make. You can do a tranquil, lush, warm oasis, or an icy desert tundra, or even an aquatic paradise. It's all up to how you utilize those resources. The fact that you can control what type of world you wish to craft was an unexpected but wholly appreciated touch. I cannot sing this game's praises enough when it comes to the sound and visual design. The world here is absolutely beautiful. From lush and vibrant foliage to just the overall design aesthetic of the townsfolk and creatures found within the worlds, everything here, and I mean everything, is absolutely gorgeous. There was so much detail poured into this experience, from the variety of foliage types to the various landscapes and architecture. I was also taken aback by the sheer amount of customizable cosmetics you can get for your character to allow you to express yourself and your townsfolk's identities to your heart's content. There were hundreds of different options for enhancing the visual fidelity and functionality of your village's homes and businesses that even just from a design aesthetic, both the seed tending and village building felt uniquely fleshed out. Every NPC in this game has their own style and charm. I can sing this game's praises for the visual aesthetic for days on end. However, speaking of singing praises, another absolutely A+ moment for this game is the sound design. The sound effects are what I would expect for the actions taking place, however the music is where the sound design really shines. The music is not only atmospheric, it's just outright beautiful. The entire ensemble is orchestral, with a variety of wood and wind instruments that all felt right at home in the designated zones. The starting world seed you have is very tranquil and melancholic, while the first world seed, spoiler, I planted was an icy desert world with largely sparkling motif, and the music changed while I was on that seed to fit the atmosphere of the zone. Every single piece of music serves an intended purpose and successfully enhances your ability to get just as lost in it as you do the world around you. The title theme is also a beautiful piece of art, and it reminded me of that one British soda commercial that plays every Christmas where the snowman allows a kid to fall presumably to his death so he can have the soda. Trust me, when I say that, this piece is memorable and nostalgic. It is rare when I play a game that the pieces from a visual and audio theme fall in the line and fit so perfectly, and Grow has earned a place in my heart with both the visual and sound design. Overall, I loved everything about this game. I traditionally have never been a fan of games like Animal Crossing or Harvest Moon. Going into this, I fully expected to be bored of the gameplay loop after roughly 20 minutes, yet a surprising thing happened. I never got bored. I was constantly being rewarded for exploring and rewarded for expanding, and quickly fell in love with this game. I was initially swept away by the beautiful aesthetic and persistent progression of gameplay that I would blink an eye and suddenly I've been at it for 2 hours. I'm honestly mind blown by just how much I love this experience, and I would challenge each and every one of you scoffing at this game to take the time and sit down with it for a couple of hours, and I promise you that you will find something to love here. I was so impressed by Grow Song of the Evertree that it is getting my first Golden Genie Award, as this game not only caught me by surprise, it knocked me to the floor with just how much fun I had with it. Releasing on November 16th on Steam, I implore you to consider singing the Song of the Evertree and enjoying this pleasantly relaxing experience. Now, before I go, I just want to give a quick thank you and shout out to our channel supporters. Bill T, Kevilo, Mitchell Hall, Chris Jackson, Nathan Moore, Adriana Amato, CJR, C-Coil, Skepticism, Holly, Julian Colbus, Jen Rose, Jesse, CPM, Bunny, JRS the 8th, Raylan, and Marky Mint. Thank you all for being a voice for us to fight against the echo chamber of gaming, and if you want to learn how to support this channel and become part of that fight against the echo chamber, check out the description beneath this video.